So you were basically saying that sometimes you have energy and sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like you're saying to bring joy and mindfulness in the moment. It's effortless when there's energy, and when there's not energy, it's a lot more difficult to. It's a lot easier to get disillusioned.
Do you have, let us call it a belief or an understanding that energy as we normally know it has to do with a chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction often has to do with oxygen, like fires or like breathing?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at a point of low energy, would that mean that it's sort of like your fires have gone out?
Well, I have a very physical job too. I work 10-hour shifts installing solar, and
Uh huh.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about like just on cushion. This is just general, you know, day to day mindfulness. And but I noticed like on the weekend, like I have that, I have that spark and that energy to practice well. And then, at the end of a work day, I just, it gets easy for me to get distracted because of my lower energy level from my job.
Okay. I'm um, I'm not really quite sure how to respond just yet. Um, you see, there's kind of two ways that we can work with this. One is to work with getting the energy back again, or to two, to deal with it as there is none of it there, or as there's no energy there. Because a low energy state can be very relaxing. You just say,
Right.
"Oh, I'm tired."
Yeah, yeah. Right.
And in that regard, that's joyful. Oh, I'm really glad to be tired. You see, it may not, in fact, be the tiredness. It may be that you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be the case?
Sure. Or I don't know. I think you are encouraging me to to take effort to bring mindfulness and joy into the moment, and that is pretty easy to do. And then but when I've been working all day, it's not that I don't like being tired, it's that I don't have that yeah, maybe I don't like it. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yes. Um, you see, it doesn't really have so much to do with whether you're tired or not. It has to do with it's hard to find joy when you don't like stuff. And it's especially hard to find joy when you don't like stuff if you don't know that that war between you want to like stuff and you don't like stuff is going on. But when you begin to really understand the nature of this feeling system of not liking, in the case that you're talking about here, perhaps, is the not liking being tired. So the question would be, in what circumstances are you not liking being tired? I can imagine not liking being tired while you're sitting on the summit of some roof or another, hoisting heavy equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I like the hard work. Um, I feel like when I lose touch with that joy, that's when you know uh, that's not as concentrated and practicing well, I guess.
Okay, so we can look at it then in two ways. One is after you get home and how you're going to deal with tiredness then versus how you're going to deal with tiredness while you're up on the roof.
I guess, yeah. When I like, there's times in the evening where I'll try to sit for meditation and I'm falling asleep. But in the morning, I have like quite a bit of energy for investigation and to bring, my attention to what's happening. But like after work, I'm just like, nodding off.
Well, good. If you're tired, then go to sleep.
Yeah.
Even the Buddha recommends that.
All right, good.
All right. There's actually 5 stages or steps it can go through, but that's the last one. One is rubbing your arms, rubbing your limbs. The second one would be washing your face. Another one would be standing up and walking around. And after you stand up and walk around for a bit, then you can come back and sit down. And if you're still drowsy because you've been working all day, then the answer is, okay, now it's the time to do sleeping meditation.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, this is all clearly laid out in the sutras. And so if you're tired, then go to sleep. But if you're tired up on the roof, it may have to do with breathing. Because one of the things that we don't do enough of, and I do want to encourage you this, that the Buddha's number one instruction, the first part of Anapanasati is that long, or what we call deep breath. To start breathing. To get that energy back going again. If you're up on the roof and you need that energy and you don't like it there, then making sure that you're getting enough air. And that in this case, you have to do that because you can remember to do it. And so you can also be glad that you can remember to do it. And that's easy then. So there's your meditation right there on the roof. So remember to take enough air. Whenever you get tired, you can recommend that. Oh yeah, all right, it's time to take a deep breath. Because the body wants to do as little breathing as possible and still get the job done. But we want more than that. We want to have that part of the brain that's function, and in your case also having the limbs working. So making sure that you're getting adequate oxygen, making sure you're getting a lot of air should help you in your work. And also the remembrance of taking a lot of air should help in your mindfulness training. So it's beneficial in 2 directions. And if you're happy about this, then that's the 3rd direction, adding the joy. Aha, I'm really glad I saw all that tiredness. That gives me a chance to take a deep breath and relax for a moment. And so that would be the way that you can use it in that 2 ways. If you're really tired, then let yourself do what you need to do. And give yourself that permission rather than say, oh no, you must sit. This is time for meditation, No, don't do that. This is time to stop all of that. This is time to learn how to live naturally. To go with the flow, to do it the right way rather than doing it according to the instructions or the orders of the day.
Okay. I like that.
One of the major goals that are one of the major problems that Western students have is set goals for themselves. But I always recognize that the right goal to set for yourself on any particular point is a goal that can be reached immediately. So my goal is to take a deep breath and sit here and relax. And I'm quite successful at doing that. So I'm quite joyful, content, right there. That's all it takes. Make sure that your goals are immediately available, because wanting things you don't have is suffering. But wanting something and then having it immediately available, that is the point, let us call it, of being very wealthy, very successful, very satisfied. And so that's the part of the point of having immediate goals. But you see, the Westerners, they want long-term goals. I want to become enlightened. Yeah, well, you just missed your chance when you were wanting that. So we have to get out of our goal-oriented way and recognize, oh no, what we're actually looking for is this really, truly relaxed, easy, comfortable place that had nothing to do with tiredness. But the tiredness is also a teacher to say, maybe you need some oxygen right now. Maybe the body's tired, it needs to be pumped back up with oxygen to let all of that crap that's in the body that get, there's a lot of, when the body is doing work, there's a lot of chemicals that are given off, that's put into the bloodstream. And the best and easiest way for that stuff to get out of the bloodstream, that poison, is right through the breathing, to get it out. That's one of the reasons why people who have been doing hard work stink. It's not because of underarms, it's because of the poisons of the body coming out all over the place. Lungs, pores of the skin, everywhere. So this is why breathing is really so important, to start adding to your routine, especially since you're already talking about having experienced tiredness. So that's your antidote for the tiredness, is breathe. And that's such a simple thing to do. It's like, well, I could have thought of that. But unfortunately, in that regard, the Buddha beat you to it. Always start with that long, strong, deep breath. Step number one, always come back. Whenever we start meditation, we start at the beginning, that long breath. Long, deep, satisfying breath, with the out breath being like a sigh, or a sigh of relief, or a really relaxed kind of out breath. One of the examples that I would use would be, because I'm from the South, and my great-grandfather taught me how to do it, and my mom joked with me because he taught her how to do it, and that was to pick cotton. And the story then is, imagine that you've been picking cotton all day, and then the horn blows, or the boss comes up either on a buckboard or a motorbike, it doesn't matter what, but the day's work is over. And the first thing you want to do is you want to wipe your brow and then sit down with a nice long, the day's work is finished, right? You probably had that breath many times in your life if you've got an active job like that. That out breath that signifies the day's work is over. Right? We're finished now, huh? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yep, okay. That's the breath that you want to cultivate to have often. That deep, relaxed, satisfying breath that comes with the job is finished now. The work is done. Take a relaxation. Take a load off, literally. Load off your feet and a load off your mind. Okay, boss. So this is the way to practice. To practice as if the job was just finished. The work is done. Time to time to relax, time to let go. What needs to be done has been done. And now there's no place to go and nothing to do. Other than maybe seeking the nearest shade tree. So this is a kind of new mentality to take on. This is actually what we would call a change of attitude, which is also part of the Eightfold Noble Path. Right view leads to right attitude. And this new attitude that we're cultivating is the attitude of having successfully completed what needs to be done. And we work with that right from the very beginning. That in the beginning, what needs to be done is to recognize that the mind has wandered away from the breath and bring it back. Okay, well, now I've done the job. Let me take a relaxed, deep breath and enjoy the moment. The work is finished. But for you, you've got bigger ideas about what work is, and so you've got a deeper, better version of relaxed breath. So you can go right into that. That's good. To have that really deep, relaxed kind of satisfaction that everything is okay now. The work is finished. There's no more work to do. That's what enlightenment is all about, is literally setting the burden down, taking the load off. In the sense of taking a load off the feet also, but more importantly, is taking a load off the mind. Bhikkhu Buddhadasa talks about this as kind of a little Dhammarato moment. A little Dhammarato moment when everything is peaceful. That all of the stuff that was conditioning life, which is the work itself, since the work is completed, the work is finished, and there's nothing left to do, that means that right now things are unconditioned, as if the pot is coming off of the boil. And so now it goes from boil down to simmer, and from simmer down to cool. So that's the cooling off process. And let yourself have these little Dhammarato moments where everything just cools down. And you can do that 10 or 20 times a day at work. And it's always to do with that deep breath.
I like it.
This is the practice. And once you pick that up and recognize, oh, this is so good, I should do this a lot. The problem that I was having, I knew that I should do it, and I worried because I was wondering how often I was. And when I gave that up and recognized, oh, whenever you're doing it, really like it. And then you'll start doing it more and more and more because you really like doing it. Taking that deep breath, relaxing, be here now. Even if you're tired in the evening, you can still do that. Mm-hmm. Then, in fact, being tired, that's a good time to do it. Take that deep breath, relax, that's okay. And if you're really tired to the point of going to sleep, then do that too. That's great stuff, that sleep. Start to enjoy that also. When you lay in bed at night, say, oh, I don't really have to sleep. I really like it, but I'm just going to enjoy the moment. And you just snuggle up and, oh, this is so nice. And go to sleep mindfully, just enjoying the night, enjoying laying on the bed. Let yourself really relax. Take all the cares, all the thoughts out, and just say, oh, I like being here in the bed right now. And so it winds up being a practice that while we sit on the cushion to practice this in the beginning, it winds up being something that uh, begins to flavor your entire life. It becomes immersed in the Dhamma. You keep practicing over and over and over again throughout the day. How wonderful it is to just be relaxed with nothing to do. And then there'll be something to do, and you get up and do it, and then you'll sit back down. Nothing to do now.
Yeah, and
So you give yourself a lot of little Dhamma moments all throughout the day.
that breath takes the place of thinking of the future, of the next thing.
Exactly. Give no thoughts to the future. When you begin to think about the future, say, hey, I could actually enjoy this moment instead. Bye bye, future. Yeah, past and future. That actually makes the mind tired.
Mm-hmm.
Worrying about things, and we have the same thoughts over and over and over and over and over again with never a solution in sight. So it's better not to let the mind just spin like that, looking for solutions that are actually trying to solve the wrong problem anyway. That's why those thoughts never bring the right solution. The real question is, what's this tension? What's this anxiety? What is this need to do something all about? Why do I feel driven to get something done when I could be here and relax anyway? And that's when we begin to inspect anxiety or tension that builds up in the body. And we can breathe into that also. That's a part of being here now, is to experience the body with all of its crap. Because if we can see it, we can do something about it. If we can't see it, if we're hiding from it, if we're in a state of delusion or stupidity and ignorance, thinking that we know all about it when in fact we don't know anything about what's really going on, then we're going to be bound to stay in suffering. But if we keep coming back to this present moment and start inspecting and feeling what's going on and feeling what the body feels like and say, okay, it's tired, that's good, I like that. Nothing to do now. But if it's anxiety, you can say, down, boy, there's nowhere to go and nothing to do. No reason to feel like that there's something to go and something to do. And so that helps you start dealing at an even deeper level, down at that level of anxiety that we get naturally. I don't know of anyone who doesn't have anxiety, but some of us have it big time.
Yeah, I used to have it really bad. Not as much anymore, but I still have it.
All right. Well, when it's there, know it. And
I
know
know
that
it.
it's just a feeling, that it doesn't mean that you have to do something about it.
Right.
But rather that there it is. And you can actually use it, think about it as you're breathing. When I say think about it, I actually mean pay attention to it or feel the sensations of that place if it's in the solar plexus. Some people experience it in the neck in the sense of trying to protect the throat or the neck area. That's a very dangerous place. That's where for instance, the lion will take down the gazelle is by biting it on the throat. And that's built right into our genes, that our anxiety is often keeping our shoulders up. But it can also bring tension to the chest. And so feeling those feelings while we're breathing in and recognize, okay, that's just anxiety, and that's all it is. It's not a call to arms. That's an important thing. It's not a call to arms. It's not an action plan. It's not a requirement to do something. It's just anxiety. And that's all it is. And we watch it while we breathe. And guess what? It'll melt right away. But not if you want it to go away. If you want it to go away, it'll stay.
Mm-hmm.
People get really tense and uptight and anxious about their anxiety. They want it to go away and it won't go away. They're making it there. So stop wanting it to go away and just start watching it instead, noticing it if it's there. But whatever it is that's there in that moment when you're in that full state of relaxation, note that. Oh, what's going on? If it's tiredness, I note tiredness. If it's anxiety, I note anxiety. If it's worry, then I note worry. If it's planning, I note that. And then we come back and say, but I would rather take a deep breath and be here now. This is a very easy practice, very easy process. But you got to remember to do it. That's the big trick, is to remember to do it. Sati. You look very satisfied right now.
Yeah, no, I'm cozy.
Cozy. Good. All right. Well, now that we've got this one nailed down, let's do this for a while. And this is what you're looking for. You're looking for the idea or the plan that I can do this anytime I want to. That no matter how obstructed the mind gets, no matter how tense, how uptight, how tired, or how this, that, or the other thing is there, I can, in fact, when I see that that's there, can sit down and take a deep, relaxed breath and come back to the here now and chase all of that stuff away. That's the state that you're looking for. I can do this. I am the lion. I can do this. I can remember to throw that stuff out and come back to the present moment, happy, joyful, contented, at peace. Nick, can you do this?
Yes.
Yes. Ah, good. All right, you go do it.
All right.
We'll see you later.
All right, sounds good.